Okay, Ty. So I was listening to your album this morning as I was making breakfast. Yeah. And there's a line that stuck out to me from Fake Prophet. First of all, I thought it was one of the most relatable songs that I had heard. But the first line is, the only reason I want fame is because I'm jealous. Yes. I love that. There's a line later that says, I want to be doing interviews about myself. Are we fulfilling a dream right now for Tai Verdes?
Well, to be honest, I've been doing a couple interviews about myself for a minute. I just think that like in that moment when I was writing that music, it was kind of like, this is the job that I want, you know, very like blatantly. And now that I'm doing it, it's kind of like a weird full circle thing, you know? But I've had experience with the public eye for a minute because I did that reality show like, 4 years ago. So I had like an experience with like some sort of fame and stuff like that, and people just asking questions. But now I'm here and it's a lot different.
Yeah. The answer I was looking for was yes, we're fulfilling a dream by you being on the Colin and Samir show.
Ty's like, no, not really.
Ty's like,
he's like,
I'm not going to lie. This is my favorite podcast setup that I've been on so far. Okay. So you guys got that.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
I think what's interesting is you did say, like, I've wanted this career for a while.
Yeah.
And when I first heard your name, it was from Samir.
Yeah.
And he was like, you have to see this guy. He works at a Verizon store. And he just quit his job to be a full-time musician. And that was like the headline of Tai Verdes for me. And that's what I took it as. I was like, wow, that's like an overnight success. Like, that's unbelievable. But when you look into it more, there's like so many years and years and years in the making.
Yeah,
which I think is just so interesting. And that's what I'm like excited about really getting into.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, I got hooked on that storyline because I was just looking at how people were telling stories on TikTok. And I came across that story, and you were showing this living room that was separated by a curtain. And I was like, wow, this dude is just super open and just showing everything. And then I listened to the music and I was like, as I started listening more and more, I was like, the way you storytell, whether it's in videos or through lyrics, is so vulnerable and relatable. And it's like this type of songwriting and storytelling that I feel like really connects to me. And I think obviously has connected to a ton of people. So
yeah, man, I'm just blushing right now.
Yeah.
This is great.
So let's zoom back. First of all, you said MTV reality show. Colin and I are big AYTO fans.
Oh
so
my gosh.
We're aware.
I got way too into AYTO for a period of time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So actually, I have to admit, I haven't seen your season.
Don't.
I won't. Yeah. I don't want to change our relationship. You know what I mean? I don't want to, But huge fan of AYTO for, I think, the first 2 seasons.
So let's go back in time here.
Yeah.
Where does the Tai Verdes story start? Start in college? Like, how did you end up becoming infatuated with storytelling, wanting to do this as a career, like you mentioned?
I don't think I ever was infatuated with storytelling. I just wanted to try things, you know? So I started when I was in college and I dropped out because I hated it. I actually got I didn't even get a grade on my English class. I got an incomplete on my English class. And that's what, and then the college was like, okay, you guys got to leave. You got to leave Tai Verdes, whatever you think your name is. And then after that, it was more like, I don't want to do school anymore. Let's do industry stuff. And I've always wanted to do industry stuff just because, I don't know, it's just more fun. And I feel like I just know how to talk to people, and I've seen it like either comedy, singers, all that stuff. I've seen it for a while, acting. So when I actually decided to jump in, I did everything. I did a podcast. I did the stand-up comedy thing. I did modeling. I did acting. And then I've been making music for a minute. So it's been like 13 years since I've been playing piano, guitar for 4 years, ukulele for 4 years. And now, what happened was I started making music with my friend a little bit, not taking it seriously. Made it by myself a little bit, didn't take it seriously. But ever since I moved to LA, for every 4 years, I went and as a holiday or something, I'd go to America's Got Talent or The Voice, and I'd do a little audition or something. And the thing is that I thought that I was good because I've always had like a turn of phrase or like lyrics or tell a story in my song. So I was doing that for the judges, not the judges, but the producer that lets you to the judges. But it wasn't good enough because my voice wasn't there. You couldn't really feel what I was saying. So that's where the TikTok comes in, where you see me singing in my car. I sang in my car for an hour and a half every single day for 6 months. And after that, the first thing I recorded after that, I didn't go in the studio while I was doing that. The first thing I recorded was Stuck in the Middle, and then Something to Cry About, and Real World were the first 3 songs.
That's
and then,
crazy.
Yeah, after that, I put Stuck in the Middle on TikTok, and First video just blew up. But I had put other music on there, but I had not practiced my singing before then. So that was my first one that I was just like, let's get it, let's go. And I didn't think I was the best singer at the time, but I was just like, let's do it. No one's ready.
So interesting, especially how you said industry, and assuming that you're essentially just talking about the entertainment industry as a whole. Industry. So at that time, when you first started trying out things, was there one that you thought would take off? Where you're like, damn, I'm meant to be a podcaster, or I'm meant to be a stand-up comic? Which one did you like the most?
To be honest, music. That's the one I'm doing because it's the process of it. Like I did everything until it wasn't like I was, doing it and being trash at it. I would get comedy spots until I got to a 5-minute spot, a 7-minute spot where they asked me to come do it. I did modeling. Like I had a couple Nike modeling campaigns. And then for podcasting, I was like, I was making money on my YouTube podcast for a minute. But with all of those, I didn't like the process as much as I thought. People not laughing at your jokes hurts my soul. I can't do that. I can't do that. And also like, I just don't like having real-time judgment with songs. It's like, I can make this song and then people can judge it on their own time and I can have like my perfect performance, sing it into the mic as many times as I want. With modeling, it just got kind of boring and it's like other people make decisions for you. I just really liked the fact that with music, I can make it myself, I can perfect it myself, and I can put out whatever I want. Well, not whenever I want, but whenever I want. And just, it's me and my story and no kind of, clutter in between,
Hey there. Hope you're enjoying this interview with Tai Verdes. Wanted to take a quick break in the episode to thank the sponsor of today's show, and that's Jellysmack. Jellysmack works with creators to get their content across multiple platforms to grow both their audience and their revenue.
Jellysmack is trusted by some of the biggest creators like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie, but they work with creators of all sizes.
So basically, this is how it works. If you're a creator who makes videos for YouTube, you probably spend all of your time focusing on making those videos for YouTube.
Correct.
Yes.
That is
exactly right.
Exactly right for us.
So Jellysmack will take those videos and they'll edit them for platforms like Facebook and Snap, where there's actually a lot of opportunity for new audience and new revenue. Jellysmack made over $100,000 for 2/3 of its creators last year.
And one of the best things about it from a creator perspective is that Jellysmack handles all of the costs and it is at no expense to you as a creator.
Now, if you're thinking, why wouldn't I just hire my own editor to distribute on these platforms? Jellysmack not only has a full team of editors who specialize in short form content, they also have proprietary software that actually takes the videos and optimizes them for platforms. So it happens a lot faster than you think.
So if you're interested in partnering with Jellysmack, head over to jellysmack.com, click get in touch, and then tell them that we sent you. Put in Colin and Samir, that's COLINSAMIR.
And if that's hard to remember, we had someone from our audience create a jingle to make it easy for you to remember.
Colin and Samir.
How about that?
That's good.
That's a good jingle.
Good. Shout out to Dominic for making that jingle.
All right, now back to our episode with Tai. So you did not go to college in LA.
No, I mean, yeah, I did, but
you did junior
for a short
college.
time.
Yeah, but your first time around was Babson.
Yeah, Babson
College. Mm-hmm. How did you make it out to Los Angeles? And did you always want to? Are you from? Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from LA.
Oh, you're from LA.
I don't have like the glitz and glamour thing that people have for LA. Like, oh, I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to make it.
I'm also from LA.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're like an endangered species. There's like not many of us out here. But,
I would say I'm from the East Coast, which made me curious. Like, what brought you to Boston?
Well, I was playing basketball. I actually played basketball with Donovan Mitchell at Brewster Academy. I was playing, doing some dribbling, man. I was killing it for a little bit. But then, like I said, the process, I would see guys that would make it to, like a lot of my friends or people that I've been connected to have made it to the NBA, and playing with those guys, you can kind of see it. Like they do something on the court and they're like, yeah, you're going. You don't realize it at the time, but then they make it to the league and you're like, oh, that was the thing that is going to make it. Just like if you hear a singer, like if you heard my song, you're like, oh, this guy has something in his song. It's the same type of thing. I just didn't like the process of working out and stuff like that. Just not enough, I guess. And then also I did the whole, I broke my foot and then I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. I would have made it to that type of shit. But other than that, it was just me deciding that I wanted to do basketball and school at the same time. So that's why I picked Babson, because they were the ones that was the most interested in me. And also it was an entrepreneurship school. Yep. I can't even say the word, and they had like a business class where they gave you $2,000 or like $4,000 or something like that. And you started your own business. And I was in the marketing part of that team. And the first thing I did for that team was, how can we get this to college kids? Because we had a product that we were selling. It was like a collapsible coffee cup or something like that. And the first thing I did was, okay, let's put it on Tinder. Let's give the coffee cup a Tinder page. and message kids when they see it, if they swipe with it. I got in trouble for that.
Really?
Yes, because they were like, we don't want our school associated with a social dating platform, right? And then right then I was like, this is not for me. That was super creative.
Yeah,
and
that's a
guess
good
who?
idea.
Guess who promotes on Tinder right now? So many businesses.
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
You were
I was ahead of the curve.
Yeah, ahead of the curve, man.
But yeah, just feeling that situation in college made me want to go back to LA.
That's so interesting. So when you came back and went to junior college, at that point, were you doing industry stuff for money? Were you just still trying to explore it? What happens next?
Well, I had always been doing content, but I didn't realize it. Like I would make videos of myself playing the piano over cover songs. Like I played like Migos on piano or like something like that. And what was interesting was when I came back to LA, that was the first thing I started doing. I was like, okay, I need to take a picture of myself so maybe I can get into a modeling agency, because I just like the money aspect of it for doing very little work, you know, just trying to have an aesthetic and getting paid for an aesthetic or something like that. But it was more a choice when I got a internship job at a marketing agency, and then it was just so boring. And then after that, I was like, this is what a 9-to-5 job is like.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
And that was around the time that I knew I was going to be on Are You The One? So
Got
I
it.
knew that I kind of knew in the back of my head I was going to win 50 grand. So I was like, I'm going to use that money to spend time like figuring out what I want to do in LA.
So explain Are You The One to people who
Yeah.
don't know what it is, and how did you even find out about it and end up on that show? Like,
Damn.
how do you end up on MTV?
So basically, I was in college, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, we're gonna invite the girls over. We're gonna watch this show." And I was like, "This show seems kind of stupid, to be honest."
Yeah.
Because what they do is they take 11 guys, 11 girls, they put them in a house, and they pre-match them. I took like 500 personality test questions, and they pre-match you guys, and you're supposed to find the match that they have selected for you, but you don't know who it is when you're in the house. So you could be like, oh, you're my match. But in reality, it's this person over here. And then there's drama because this person could also think you're their match. And then now we have to fight who's best for who. And we all live in the same bedroom. And, you know, people are having sex and stuff like that right next to you. It was an
the
MTV
Boom Boom
show.
Room, right?
Yeah, the
Is it-
Boom Boom Room.
Yeah,
bro.
of course.
I had my first writing session. My first song I ever fully finished and wrote is on that show. It's literally documented on TV, which is crazy.
Wow. Oh, wow,
that
that's
perfect match
crazy.
song that I sung,
Yeah,
sung that I sang, whatever. me and my boy E Money, we were like in the hotel because they keep you in a hotel for, I don't know, like 2 weeks or a week and a half before. I think they do it to like restrict you from dopamine. So then when you get in the house, it's
Interesting.
like
Oh,
really?
dopamine just overflow because you're in the house and there's like 11 girls and they're all like hot. And then you're like, oh, there's a mansion and now you're supposed to just party and they give you alcohol. So that feels like a dopamine burst to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first song that I had ever finished and sang, you know? And how I got on the show again was after my friend was like, oh, this is a cool show. You win money. In the back of my head, I was like, ooh, if I could just get casted, then it would be over. I could just live in this house rent free, which is also, I did this all for money, guys, like literally all for money. Because after I came back from college, my parents were like, no, we're not supporting you at all anymore.
Did you each win $50,000? Is that how it works?
Yeah, everyone wins $1 million and then you split it
Oh,
22
right.
ways.
Because you all found your perfect match.
Exactly.
And was that
Exactly.
real? Like at the end, like you actually all did it, or were they like, "Hey, Ty,
No,
that's
it was
her.
real. So the thing is, seasons have lost before.
Yeah.
It's just that like with us, I didn't think that 2 seasons could lose in a row because just from a viewership standpoint, then that's boring. you
Yeah.
know?
Also, the process has to work.
Yeah. And
Right,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
true love is real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
scan your hand on that thing and it's
Yeah.
like, do.
Wow.
What's that called
Don't
again?
worry, man.
I have
We're
no
in.
idea
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that's called. I literally was during the show. I didn't do anything. I had the mentality of like, I don't want to have sex on TV when I went on the show because I
That's fair.
knew I was going to be doing this.
Yeah.
But I could
You
have
knew you were
went.
going to be doing the Colin and Samir show. So you're
Yeah,
like, I
right.
can't
I
have
can't.
sex on TV and then go on their
Those
show.
guys are
Yeah.
watching AYTO right now.
Right.
And
right.
I can't do that.
That's exactly what I was like. I literally was like, I'm going to be famous, more famous than this. I
Wow.
need to not do it. So when the girls would come up to me and then everyone was like flirting and stuff and having fun and drinking, I would just be like, yep, this is cool. This is cool. But I just made fun of people. And that's a lot of my clips on the show are they're like B-roll clips of me going like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
So how far did the $50,000 take you?
So it was like 2 years. And then at the end of the year and a half, I started searching for a job. I worked at this, I think it's like called Gentle Monster. And I worked there for 4 months. It was my least favorite job I've ever had, but I needed money. And I would literally call my mom on my lunch breaks and be like, yo, I don't know if I can do this again, because they make you stand and not sit down, because it was a luxury place. You had to wear all black all the time.
What was it? What was Gentle Monster?
It was a sunglass brand. It was like a luxury sunglass brand.
Oh, in downtown.
In downtown,
yes.
yeah. I lived
we
right next
walked
to
in
it.
there one time. Remember, it was like really scary. And there's all these monsters.
Exactly.
very confusing.
Exactly. So in that store, that's when I figured out that my 9 to 5, like, is not going to work, you know? And then I started getting money from that job. And that's when I started getting tired and my legs and my knees were started hurting. That's when I applied for a Verizon job. And now you see when TikTok gets put in there, and I started marketing myself on TikTok probably 2 months into that job.
I think those jobs are so important, though.
Yeah.
Like having the
yeah.
job that shows you what you don't want to do.
Right. Yes.
Like when I graduated from college, I was working at the front desk of a hotel, standing on my feet 40 hours a week. And I was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
But after work, I would pick up my camera and start filming and telling stories. So I was like, well, clearly that's what I want to do.
Yes.
Right. And I think it's so important to have those jobs so you know what you don't want to do, and it reveals what you do want to do.
Exactly.
Well, you have to know the alternative, because if you're working late at night, mixing a song or editing a song or writing a song, in the back of your head, you have to know the alternative sucks.
Yeah.
You have to be like, damn, I do not want what's on the other side of this. If this doesn't work, so I have to make this work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really important. So at the Verizon store, like, did it also give you time to write songs? Were you doing music at that time? Were you afraid when the pandemic hit that like you would lose opportunities or you would lose momentum?
People didn't go anywhere. You just have to reach them differently. I think that I was never in the industry like that. I think that if you were a touring musician, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a reason why there was a vacuum of music and TikTok kind of blew up and like the radio changed. And even now the radio changed, like Build-A-Bitch is on the radio right now. You know, like my song's on the radio right now. Backyard Boys on the radio. Mad at Disney's on the radio. Just because people like Sam Smith and Katy Perry and all these people that were like big names, they just didn't release music for a while because it was kind of, is this socially insensitive to be like, come check out my album when people were like dying and stuff like that? And that is totally valid for somebody of that like A-list tier. You should probably not be distracting attention from the pandemic, but for someone who's just starting up and TikTok is out, definitely put your music out there, you know? So there was a vacuum from these A-list artists. I started promoting, and the type of promoting that TikTok induces is very genuine and organic, so you can get to know people if you use it right. It was like right time, right place, and I just kept making content like every day, responding to every single comment. That was a big thing, was responding to every single comment I had time to at Verizon. I would literally sit for maybe 4 hours straight. No one would come in the door, and I would just respond back to comments. I still do that now. Like if you're watching this, I probably responded to a comment of yours.
Wow.
And is that Stuck in the Middle coming out, that you are responding to comments?
No. That was
this
after.
is post.
Yeah, this is post. This is when I've had like a couple viral videos, and then now I'm still at the Verizon store. Dude, I was at the Verizon store for a minute. Like I had like all the record labels calling me while I was slanging phones. I was in like my break room, and like Capitol Records would call me and be like, yeah, so we really like Stuck in the Middle. You got your demos? Like any other demos? I had like 8 other songs at the time. Now I've got like hundreds, but this is wild.
So leading up to Stuck in the Middle coming out, like, are you a student of TikTok, consuming it a ton? Like, how did it get to the point where you make Stuck in the Middle and then you release it the way you did, which was saying like, if this gets 1,000 likes, I'll release the song tomorrow? Like, bring us up to speed with how Stuck in the Middle even came out.
So I was using TikTok for a minute and putting like my drafts of songs on there, but I would watch other people go crazy on TikTok. Claire Rosenkrantz, like I said before, I saw her do that video with Backyard Boy, and she like makes music with her dad. And then I heard it on the radio, and then I was like, oh shoot, this is crazy. Then I saw Curtis Waters do it with Stunnin', and I was like, these people are absolutely, I've never heard of them before. I don't know how long they've been doing music, but now I know who they are, I know what they look like, and they're on the radio. That is insane. I feel like no one is giving the appreciation of what that is. Being on the radio is one of the hardest things that you can do ever. It's like being in like a major motion picture movie, because you're not competing against, like your peers or like Katy Perry. You're competing against like AC/DC still. You're competing against everybody that made a good song. Not a good song. You're competing against everybody who put out their best song is on the radio right now. Like Neon Trees and stuff like that. You know, so that was amazing to me. And when I saw that the platform TikTok could do that by just being this good idea machine where from consensus of like human opinion, you get shared things. And then from that sharing, it goes wider and wider from different circles that might not ever even take a second glance at the type of content that you're putting out. That's what I was interested in, because there's not another platform that you can post something and not click a single setting in the back end and be like, okay, I want this to go to this person, this person, this. It just goes. It does it. Yeah. You know, it does the work for you. That's why when artists don't use TikTok, you just don't want it, man. You just really don't want it because it's so easy. You literally just play your song. Just play your song and then it goes. I told this kid named Slush Puppy, who I just met. He's an awesome guy. And if you look at his type of music, it's hyperpop. And, you know, hyperpop isn't as genuinely accepted on like, you know, platforms as it is right now. Like you have newer artists doing hyperpop and it's going crazy. But he was like, man, I'm just shy. I don't want to get up there and sing my song. And I was like, dude, if you sing, cause he showed me a song. If you sing this song, can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
his song,
you're
his
a rock
lyric,
star, man.
if you guys can go watch right now. It's like, eat, spit, get dicked with the lights on. And I was like, if you put that on TikTok tomorrow in your car, it's going crazy. And he's like, really, man? I don't know. Check his page. It's like 1 million views right now. Wow. So it's like, you just have to say the lyric. Just literally say what you're trying to say. You're going to perform anyways. You're going to perform on stage. You think it's
I'm going to try saying that lyric on TikTok and see how it works.
Yeah, just be like, this is my song, remix.
Yo, what's up? Eat dick. What was it?
I'll stop you there.
Yeah, okay. Stop me there. Stop me there.
That's good.
All right,
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Less words, just as powerful. Yeah.
That's the second verse.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So the interesting thing is that like the game of TikTok is, at least from my vantage point, is you're taking a bunch of shots.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Like you're taking a bunch of shots in a day too.
Yeah.
It's like, how many shots can you take in a day? And I think even the difference between you and your friend that you just mentioned is that you've taken so many shots in your life up to that point that you were prepared to say, I don't mind taking 8 shots a day on TikTok, even if all 8 are failures.
I think that someone, I don't know if it was in the heavens or it was someone in the industry, was like, I'm going to make a perfect app for Tai Verdes. And because it's perfect for me, because for the videos that don't go, it's not like they're bad videos, or even if they are a bad video, no one gets to see it. But the viral ones, everyone gets to see. So it's basically like, if I have a really good story, everyone's going to see it. If I have an okay story, not everyone's going to see it. So it's like, why not just try and make as many stories as possible? And then the good ones will be seen by everyone. So you have this crazy first impression that like the only ones, like I have people on TikTok commenting right now that are like, I remember you from the Verizon store. That was like a viral video. And then, I remember you from the drugs video, or now the stuck in the middle video. Then we would have some cute kids, and then A-OK. Right. Damn, I've been doing this for a minute. Yeah, you have been. I mean, that's how I found out about you. Hell yeah.
Right? It was on my For You page.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this guy's interesting. And the cool thing was I could then go back and have this whole library of your life that I felt like I was watching essentially the same version of like a vlog.
Yes.
Like a daily vlog, but I was watching you go through this experience. And the cool thing was that I was able to turn to Colin and basically regurgitate the story, because you had so much library content that was easy to grasp onto, that I was like, here's the story of this guy, Tai Verdes, right? And that's what's powerful, is not only that the single video can go viral, but that someone can watch it and then turn to a friend, and word of mouth then takes it further. And now when you add music on top of it, what's interesting is there's no cap on music consumption. There's a cap on video consumption. Like this show right now, if you're a massive fan of us and or you, people will watch it 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
But I've listened to the song Drugs probably 100 times, right? And there's no cap on consumption there. All I need is to get connected to you once, and then you could be in my Spotify playlist forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a huge deal, I think, from a content perspective, that music has an advantage over video.
I do want to say, though, that one point about how you were able to tell me the story because Tai was telling his own story. I feel like that's super important. Like we always say, like if you don't tell your own story, no one else will.
Exactly.
And I think that's huge. That like multiple times on your TikTok account, you're like, all right, here's my story. Here's this part of the story. Here's that part of the story. Right? Like, and that's like, here's a recap of 2020. That's so important that like it starts with you because you control the narrative and then everyone else gets to spread it.
That's another thing for artists. Like artists always say, no one's going to be able to understand me. Then get on TikTok and make them understand you. You know what I'm saying? Like I make weird music. Like I'm a weirdo. Like it's vibey, lo-fi, hip hop, punk rock. Then just say that. I've seen so many videos, vibey, hip hop, punk rock shit, whatever. And then they play the song. It's awesome. And it has 1 million streams on Spotify now.
Right.
So easy. But you were asking me how I started posting. I was actually using it for like workout everyday videos. Like I did a 30-day challenge where I went to the gym every single day.
Yeah, you've done some shirtless videos.
Yeah, you know, gotta pop the top on them.
Yeah, sure.
But so I was like trying to like motivate people in that way because I hadn't gone to the gym for an entire year, the year before that, because I was just like struggling in general with, you know, mental stuff. So when I started doing it again, I was like, let's share. And then a couple of my videos went like 30,000 views, 100,000 views. And I was like, oh shoot, this is not what I want to do. I just don't want to do workout videos. That's a lot. I don't want to be sweaty holding my phone all the time. But yeah, when I started doing music, it was like this right away connection to people being so positive. TikTok is really positive when you first, especially if you're being genuine, it's super positive, you know? It's not like YouTube where the first comment is like, you suck.
Yeah, I mean, that's very much what YouTube is. So almost exactly a year ago, Stuck in the Middle, like completely took off, right? 2020. Can you talk us through that song? Like, where does that song come from? And why was that the first one that you really kind of put out?
Well, I thought it was my least strongest out of the 3 songs that I had made. It was Stuck in the Middle, Something to Cry About, and Real World. And I was like, okay. And then I have another one called Lifesaver that I just was like, I was iffy on. But with Stuck in the Middle, I wrote it the fastest. It was on my little like side balcony. And I had just regurgitated what a girl had said to me, like, you're a player and I bet you got hoes. And my brother had just called me the day before, not the day before, but like the week before. And he was like, you know why people listen to music? Because the first line usually hooks them into listening to the song, especially if you're a new artist. Like Justin Bieber can get away with saying in his first line of a song, I love you so much. Like, okay, okay, Justin, you said that pretty good, Justin. I can't say that because I'm Tai Verdes and nobody knows who I am. But if I say you're a player, aren't you? And I bet you got hoes, then it's like, okay, what's next, Tai Verdes, that I've never heard before? Like,
wow.
For songwriting, you have to say what's next. And that's like any song that you think about. If the reason why you're listening to it, especially if it's a newer artist, is like what's next in the story. And I think because I had, you know, experienced storytelling in general, I just tried to implicate that way more in my songwriting. Like with We Would Have Some Cute Kids. Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do drugs. What's next?
Yeah.
You know, like it's always what's next. And then either that or like being really vulnerable. Like with my song Feeling This Bad Never Felt So Great. Like the first line of the second verse is I miss the sex. What's next, bro? What are you gonna say after that? You know, you have to build tension and like release in your songwriting.
Yeah. Wow.
That's like straight from some of our videos about just like storytelling in general. Act 1, the setup is the most important part of all types of art.
Yeah.
Right. It's that what's next, like that tension, like you're talking about. And I think it's the same for creating a TikTok. Probably even the reason that you were like, you know, if this gets 1,000 likes, I'll release the song.
Exactly.
That's an act 1. Yeah. I was like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Rock says the difference between a good comedian and a bad comedian is the premise of the joke. If you have good premises. And I think that's the same with songwriting. Like if your premise is strong and unique, then it's hard to write bad lyrics, you know, because just to go back to another one of my songs, We Would Have Some Cute Kids. There is not another song in the universe right now that has ever been created called We Would Have Some Cute Kids. Yeah. So any line that I think of in that world is automatically going to be, first of all, easier to write because no one's doing it. And then 3, it'll be a story because you need to explain why you said that premise if you're explaining it right.
Yeah.
So that's my songwriting tips.
Not only are that, first of all, I love that.
That observation is very much like from a comedian's lens too, right? Of something that like We Would Have Some Cute Kids is definitely something that a lot of people think.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but you put it out there, right?
Yeah,
And that's like what
exactly.
comedians do. They like highlight things that people think about, but that no one has said.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially when you're live storytelling, like a comedian does in a room, your job is literally to fill that room with tension and then release it, and actually do that at disproportionate levels throughout the show, so that people have smaller releases at times, bigger releases at other times. So they're always on the edge of their seat of like, what type of release am I going to experience next,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So everything it's familiar and different all at the same time throughout a performance. And we think about that in our videos. That's so interesting. But not only are those premises really good, but they're also, like Colin said, they're relatable. Like I remember when I heard Stuck in the Middle, I was like, I like this song. This is cool. And I think there was a thought in my head of like, cool, this dude's got one song. Did you have any fears around that? Like what was the feeling of Stuck in the Middle going as big as it did?
Yeah.
Because it went #1 on Spotify viral charts, correct?
Yeah.
While you're working at Verizon.
Yeah, while I was working
Yeah.
at Verizon, I would like watch it. I didn't even watch it. The first it entered at #1, and I was like, "Whoa!" First of all, I don't know how this chart works or what this #1 thing is, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And after that happened, a lot of people from the entertainment industry started hitting me up and be like, "Okay, who are you? What do you got? Like, what's happening with your world?" But the pressure was not really there for me because I had other concepts that I had been working on that were like out there, just like. You're a player, aren't you? And I bet you got hosts. So I was like, if they like this, they're just gonna mess with all the other stuff that I've been writing. And I had written Drugs at that point. The first like 4 songs me and Adam did was it went drug. Well, we did one first song that was trash, and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep making music with him, but he was so cool as a person that I was like, we got to get back in because I just wanted to hang out with him. And then we wrote Drugs, and then we would have some cute kids, and then we wrote Feeling This Bad Never Felt So Great all in a row. So it was like kind of just building off of that first, kind of just opener session of just like, okay, let's get a song out. And then now let's start really dialing in on what's going to happen.
What was the feeling of a song taking off? Like, I know you heard it on the radio as well. I know like that's got to feel crazy, right? Like a song taking off.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal because I could see that when TikTok was going well, Spotify was going well, so the transfer of TikTok followers to Spotify followers, I don't think has been seen in social media ever, where someone can see something on TikTok, go back to the home screen, go to Spotify, listen to the song if they want to. That was not happening on Instagram. That was not happening on Facebook. It was only TikTok where that was happening. So I focused all my time on that. I was like, okay, if this is the one that's happening, I'm not going to focus on Snapchat or not going to focus on posting so much content to Instagram. I would post my TikToks to stories on Instagram. But other than that, I literally did, okay, I need to post a video today. What am I going to do it about? Because that was back when TikTok was like, if you posted regularly, you could, build momentum and people would get familiar with you. And, Charlie D'Amelio did that, and, Addison Rae did that. And I was like, okay, I need to be posting just as much as them. Then I found out that people were posting multiple times a day, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So also being like setting your boundary and being like, okay, if I put out a good story a day, then I can, figure this thing out. But it felt like everyone was finding out about something that they had already found out about. Like all these people were messaging me about like, dude, this song is perfectly explaining this relationship that I have. And having people message me about those instances where it's like, this is me and my best friend's song and now we're dating, like that type thing. Right. It was really interesting to see it connect with people. And I think that was the most fun part of the entire process, was seeing how many people actually connected with it and how big it got. And then seeing people use it as background music because they liked the vibe of it so much. That was cool.
I think what was really interesting to see too was that as the song was growing, you were talking about the narrative of the song growing on your account. Like there's a TikTok where you talk about the fact that a large percentage of the listeners were male. So you're like, all right, guys, everyone who's listening, like play this for some women.
Yeah.
Right. And then that actually had an effect.
I did not think that was going to work. I did not think that was, oh man. But I pulled something from Mark Zuckerberg and in the social network where it was like exclusivity. So I was like, show this to someone who has music taste. Only give it to the person who has music taste, a girl with good music taste. So when they did that, it was, first of all, you're making everyone in the room feel special. Oh, I'm sharing something with you and you think I'm special. And then this artist is special. And then now we all feel special. Like this is a song, this is a moment,
That's really sharp.
Right.
That's also like understanding just human behavior.
Yeah.
And human psychology, which is a lot of what marketing and content is.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were getting millions of streams on Spotify. Was that helping pay the bills?
Yeah, it was helping pay the bills up until the point of I had to quit my job, and then I filmed that on TikTok.
Yeah, that's the thing I watched, and I was like, this is so fascinating, man.
Yeah.
And you were also living in this living room.
Yeah.
That your room was separated by a blanket. And there was so much story there that you were covering on TikTok that you were like, I work at Verizon. I live in this living room. I don't have a door. I have a blanket. And my song is going viral. Like, what a complex moment in time.
Hearing you say it out loud, makes it. I can understand why people got attached to it. Because for me, it was just like a Tuesday. I was like, let me just swipe my blanket to the left and go eat breakfast. But for other people, they either really related to it or they were like, wow, I could never imagine doing that, you know?
I felt like I was watching a movie. I was like, this is a movie about an artist who's about to make it. And I think there was also a lot of ownership in someone who was watching and who was a fan of the music and being like, I got to help him make it.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching what he's living through and I think this dude should make it.
Hell yeah.
And I think that was one of the coolest things that you did was open up your world to people and say, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like to have a hit song for me, you know?
True. I didn't even think about it like that.
And that I think is what's super interesting. So you make enough money on Spotify to leave Verizon. At that point, are you thinking like, I could do this independently? Because like I got the marketing engine for myself. I got monetization. I could probably figure this out. I'm a marketing guy. It seems like TikTok is a radio station, right? That you can you can figure out how to use the algorithm or use your content to find distribution. So how did you think about it at that moment? Were you like, I'm going to be an independent artist? Or because Capitol Records and all these different record labels are calling you, were you attracted to that? Or what was the decision between independent and...
I wasn't even attracted to... Because I've been around, you know, the industry long enough to know what deals are and like what they mean and like what ownership means. And that's why I'm kind of scared for like anyone who's new that's like super young, these like 17-year-old kids, which I'm not even scared because they all have like huge teams and like managers now, which is crazy. But like I knew for a fact that I wanted to own my masters and like own everything and have creative control and to do everything myself and with my team. So that means the people that I had trusted creatively already, they were going to be in control of like what's going to happen next. And also from my direction, because I'm the CEO of this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what's gonna happen if I say it happens. And another thing was I knew going into this that music is not the way that I'm gonna make money. And I think that artists kind of get this backwards where they think, oh, if I have a hit song, then I can move out and do this, and this. You can do that if you want to, but it depends on your end goal. And my end goal is to make it as big as possible. And I think that it is impossible for an independent artist to get their song played on a radio station in some random hole-in-the-wall restaurant in China. You can't do that if you're an independent artist because that's only an industry thing. You have to go through the radio stations for them to collect royalties on that publishing that is in these other countries internationally. You have to go get international radio teams that have campaigns and stuff like that, do interviews internationally. So a label, that's the one thing that they're really, really good at. That's why Drake signed with Capitol Records because he doesn't need a label. He has a bunch of money, but in order to be heard all around the world, be the biggest name in the world, you have to have a radio team. At least that's my opinion. Some other people might have their other opinion. So I was like, all right, I'm going to make money in various different ways. Music doesn't have to be the number one way. I'm going to get, obviously a portion of it. But I think that the biggest thing about making music in general is ownership. So as long as I have ownership, I don't really care what happens. So whenever I would talk to any record labels, it was like, you're going to let me own everything? And they'd be like, no. And then the only person who did was Arista Records, and they gave me like ownership, and that's who I'm working with now.
They're great, by the way. It's like crazy fact is that we've actually know your team from previous projects.
Awesome. Yeah. That's dope.
When they emailed us and they were like, yo, what's up, guys? And I was like, what? It's crazy. So if music is in the way that you're going to make money, how do you make money?
You make money through shows. Music is literally just promotion, going to these huge venues and playing music. So that's why all these musicians were like, oh God, what do we do right now? Because we can't tour. We can't make money. That's the main way that you make money, through merch and through touring. So for me, I was living at the lowest means possible, AKA the living room. And that helps you be so much more free. People look at that as like, oh no, what are you going to do? I look at that as like, if something goes wrong, like, what can go wrong? I already am living in a living room. If I go to a different living room, is that the worst thing in the world? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't have a lot of stuff. I didn't have a lot of clothes and stuff. I had a couple bags. It makes you super mobile and super independent to be able to do anything you want. You can switch jobs whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I had so many jobs, because I didn't care about how much they were paying me. I just needed some money. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to, go all the way into a corporate job where it takes all of your time. So I could do part-time jobs, and I didn't want to work at a bar. So it was like, okay, let's do what I want to do, get by, and make music.
Being stuck inside for the last year and building your brand digitally has created this, there's a fan base, and there's also a lot of tension in this feeling of, man, I love these songs. I like this dude. I follow him. Now you're going to get to go on stage.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of songs that are also anthemic in a way of like, A-OK, people love to sing that. Like my wife sings that all the time. It's catchy. It's fun to sing. Stuck in the Middle is fun to sing. Drugs, I can imagine at a music festival, people are going to be screaming that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're about to go play Lollapalooza. You got some live shows coming up. So talk about, like, how does the Tai Verdes brand show up on stage? Like, what does that performance look like? Are you excited? How does that feel?
I think that this is going to be absolutely insane. The fact that I have done all this imaginary stuff, like you guys are the first person I've like done an interview with in person. Everything has been through Zoom.
Oh, wow.
All these imaginary numbers like Spotify. What is a stream? Like who's collecting that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like everything has been imaginary, not imaginary. Yeah, kind of imaginary, I guess. And now when everything's being physical and like seeing everyone come together. I did a little pop-up show in Venice just for fun, doing like a little tie-dye event for people. And
I walked by that event, by the way.
At the waterfront.
Yeah, at the waterfront. I just happened to be walking with my girlfriend, and I hear someone to the right of me go, "Oh my God, that's Tai Verdes." And I was like, wait, what? And I look over, and you start playing a song at the waterfront. I was like, that's crazy.
Wow.
I was like, oh, he's going to be on my show next week. Like, this
wow,
is
you should have came through. What happened?
She was like, are you going to go talk to him? And I was like, it's like pretty packed in there. Like, it was like raging. Like, people were like really like excited.
Yeah, dude, people were excited. That was the best part, is that the people who listen to my music, I think they're just ready to scream it.
Yes,
That's the best part. And they better be ready, because I'm screaming it at them. So it's kind of like intimidating if you're just like, I'm just like, sometimes I do. You know what I'm saying? That's a little intimidating. You got to join in, or we're going to have a little awkwardness.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the best part is that we're going to go from me singing in my car to my literal first time being at a festival. It will be Lollapalooza, dude. Like, I have never been to a festival before.
That's crazy.
Amazing, dude.
That's crazy. That's
Exactly.
gonna
Only
be,
in the age of like
Yeah.
TikTok during a pandemic
Yeah.
does that happen.
The only live show that I've been to was a John Legend show, and it was like a.
Wait, what do you mean the only live show you've been to?
Yeah, I don't go to live
total?
shows.
Whoa,
Yeah, in
you just
total.
mean like you don't go to?
Yeah, I don't
You
go to
haven't been
live
to a
shows
concert?
like that. No, I've been to 2 concerts, maybe. You know,
That's crazy. I grew up like living
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
concerts,
same.
man.
I didn't go to
Yeah.
concerts like that. You know,
Super
I just
interesting.
was never a fan of like being so tall in those type of situations, bro. The person behind me,
Yeah.
But
just basically wasted their money.
we were the people.
I was the
behind you.
people
Yeah.
behind you because so my wife and I, we really like John Mayer.
Yeah.
Love John Mayer. And I was like, I'm going to treat her to floor seats at John Mayer. So spent all this money on floor seats, not thinking about the fact that I'm the tall one in our relationship, and I'm
shoot.
5'7" to camera, but I'm 5'6" really. And we get on the floor and everyone's Tai Verdes in front of us. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, I should have gotten us nosebleeds so we could see. So
Yeah,
that's
man.
why I guess you don't go to concerts.
Yeah, dude. I just am
'Cause you don't
super
wanna be that
empathetic.
dude.
Yeah.
It's very nice of
Yeah.
you.
To people, the short kings out here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Not until you're on stage will you go to a concert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Lollapalooza is going to be crazy. That's going to be super exciting
Yeah.
because you're going to also connect with a lot of other musicians, which will be really cool. But you're also playing some other shows.
Yeah.
And you're headlining as well. And as far as I can understand here, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Like we can't even come.
So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go on tour with Mike, which is Quinn 92, and Chelsea Cutler, and that's gonna be cool because it's gonna be like 10,000 cap rooms.
Yeah.
Not cap rooms, but like shed tour type
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And then after that, I'm doing my own headline tour, and that sold out in like a day, which was cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go back out.
Where-
in
are you playing here in
2022.
LA?
Yeah, playing here in LA with Quinn and by myself.
Where at?
Where?
I honestly don't even look at the venue name.
Okay, we'll put it on. We'll put it on screen.
Yeah.
We'll put it
Yeah,
on
put it
screen
on-
right
put it
now.
on
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
But-
Oh wow, that's cool.
But I've seen, that's how you know I don't go to concerts. I don't even know the concert venues anywhere in
Wow.
the world. Like people talk about like these places or these people like in the industry, like songwriters or producers.
Yeah.
And I just haven't been in the industry long enough to like even know what's going on or how important those things are.
So, what song do you want to play today?
Oh shoot. What is your request? Give me some options. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think
Do you want Drugs?
I think Drugs
Yeah.
Acoustic is really cool.
Oh,
but I
dope.
think AOK is also great. I
Man,
think
you got
between
some
those two,
requests?
I got requests, man.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
also Fake Profits kind of got that vibe, but I think the other two songs are more widely like people can sing along to
Stuck
them.
in the middle, obviously, too, is the origin
Yeah.
story, and we spend a lot of time talking about it. So.
It's up to you if you want to
It's
play the
up to
full
you, actually. I
album.
think
What if
it's-
I just
yeah.
surprise you? Me and Adam
Yeah.
will decide.
This is your
Let's
choice.
do it.
Yeah. Or play the AYTO song, the Perfect Match song.
I
Why
don't
don't we
even know
just
how
do
to play
that?
that anymore. Wait, I might be able to. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna have Adam come to the studio. We're gonna set up these cameras right now, and Ty's gonna play a song for us.
Hell yeah, let's
You
get
got any
it.
last words while we're finishing up the interview?
Last words. Let me see if I can do something inspirational.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, good,
Oh,
good. Yeah.
man. I've said this before, but life is super long and people try to convince you that it's short. So when you're deciding things, know that they're all long term and you can't be doing shit that you don't like for a long time. That's all I got to say.
Wow, that was great.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Hell yeah.
That was great, man. Well, Ty,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on the show, and I can't wait
Perfect.
to hear what you're about to play.
Let's get it.
All right, everyone, for the first time on the Colin and Samir show, we have Tai Verdes here playing his hit single from his debut album, TV. Ty's going to play Drugs.
That was pretty good, man.
For first, that was great.
That was for first time. That was great. Yeah. Yeah. I don't wanna tell my mom I smoke this weed. Yeah. I don't wanna tell my daddy who call me weak. I don't wanna be the blackest of the sheep. Missing that call every single week. I don't wanna say. Sometimes I do drugs, not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Drugs can't find us. If you think I'm gone, I'm just doing drugs. Not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Don't mind me if I light up. Only need is sorta kinda. Drugs, la da 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 da, oh la da 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 da, drugs, la da 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 da. Listen, sometimes I don't care, sometimes I cry too, sometimes life's a little hard to get used to. Occasionally I forget to sleep, remind myself that I gotta eat 3 times a day this week. Try not to clench my teeth, got a little OCD. Listen to the CDC when I'm feeling uneasy. Sometimes I do drugs, not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Drugs can't find us. If you think I'm gone, I'm just doing drugs. Not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Don't mind me if I light up. Only need is sorta kinda. Drugs, la da 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 da, oh la da 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 da, drugs, la da 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 da, break it down. Drugs, not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Drugs, can't find us. If you think I'm gone, I'm just doing drugs. Not hard ones, just ones that change my mind up. Don't mind me if I light up. Only need is sorta kinda. Drugs, la da 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 da, oh la da 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 da, drugs, la da 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 da, oh la da 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 da, drugs, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, drugs, la da 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 da, oh sometimes I do drugs.